Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Anthony. This is commentary from a tournament from back in mid-September. This took place at Piazza's Place, which is in Aurora, so just outside of Denver. It's a player's room. There's some really great competition here. This was a big event. So over 120 players, big Calcutta. I think it was 70,000 or something in the Calcutta. If you're new to the channel, we do commentary and mental games, strategy, patterns, you name it. Lots of, just pool related stuff, but it's a good community too. Lots of really cool people here, and we're all just here to learn and get better. This was my first time playing James. We're playing on table number 8, and they've got a bunch of these 7-footers, and then they have 2 9-footers in the back. They're all diamond tables, so very nice equipment. And this was first match, first game of the day. So the tournament ran from the Calcutta, which was Thursday evening. So Thursday night was the Calcutta. Play was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And like I said, never played James before, but he was kind of coming in, fast and loose here. And looking pretty good, kind of lining up well. He's just got to solve the 6-ball here, but keeps it simple, except a longer shot on the 6. And you'll have to excuse the autofocus. I have figured that out since then. I've changed over to using a new phone instead of my camera, and the phone will misbehave from time to time, but I figured out how to lock the focus on the phone. Little bobble on the 6-ball there, could have gone bad, but he does get a line on the 9-ball. Nothing easy here. He's taking it to the bottom right. Oh, kind of jabbed at it. You can see he kind of stood up, and he does not want to watch me shoot that. So we take the first game. And I'm breaking from here, this area, some of the time, and I'm breaking from over here some of the time. I will draw your attention to something pretty important from this match, which is what the 9-ball does on the break shot. And I have a little breakdown at the end of the video, which will help kind of illustrate things. And I don't want to say too much now because we'll talk about it at the end of the video, so stick around. But the 9-ball tracks the same direction almost every single rack. So I go for a simple safe here. Played this fine. Like I said, I've never played James before. I don't know if he can jump, but this is a very jumpable, very hittable 1-ball. Very makeable. And yeah, he's immediately got the short cue. And if you put this 1-ball down, you're pretty much guaranteed to get on the 2. So yeah, he just settles right in. I mean, he's looking comfortable. Nice, good hit. And he's a little thin on the 2. This is the 4-ball up here. So he's got to get some kind of look at the 4, but you can see the 5-9 is wired up. So if he can do something with the 4 without disturbing the 5-9, we could be looking at an early game here for James. Okay, he does disturb the 5-9, and cue ball comes up table. Runs off the 8-ball a little bit, but he's got a good look at the 4, and he can definitely get below the 5, or he can come back up. So a little bit of a curve off the 4. He could play the 5 clean here, or he could kind of go into the 9-ball. 9-ball's playable. And he just goes for it. Makes both. So there's a game. And yeah, James is breaking from the right side. 9-ball lays up in the corner. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything, but yeah, keep an eye on that. So he's got a really good look at the 1-ball. This could be a break and run for sure. The 5-9 lays up. He basically just has to get good on the 2-ball there. Get above the 2-ball so that it takes him towards the 3. Maybe not quite as high as he would like to be, but he can still just roll forward. Yeah. Bobbles the 2, but it's fine. I mean, he looks good on the 3. And the 8-ball stops it. So he's able to open up his stroke just a little bit to play out for the 3-ball. Plays good to get up above the 4. Good full stroke there. Could flirt with the 7. There, that could go wrong, but here's a 5-9. Puts James up 2-1. It is alternate break. You are not allowed to touch the 1 ball while it's in the rack or after you rack it to manipulate that. I guess they're aware that some players will create a little gap. I don't have that kind of experience or expertise to be able to manipulate that gap, but I guess it's a whole thing. They were telling me about it. The other thing about the rack is that the 2 ball has to be at the bottom. So alternate break, race to 7. This is not APA Masters. Let me fix that while we're going here. Meanwhile, kind of a challenging spot. You can push out, but it's tough to find. So just change the title here. So yeah, let's take a look at this. I mean, you can get a good hit on the 1. You can kind of spin around the 2. I think I'm kicking at this because I like the kick. You've got this rail to open it up a little bit, or you go straight into the 1. Either way. Stroke's looking good. Hit it pretty good. Pretty good solid hit on that. We would have had some kind of look at the 2 if the 1 had fallen down. So we're not selling out anything super easy. The 5 might be playable on the side, but as you can see, I mean, James, he looks pretty relaxed. I haven't had a lot of table time yet in this match, so it's going to take me a minute to sort of settle in. But I do remember my mindset being really good. I'll talk about that more as I go. So James opts for a simple safe here. He leaves me a look at it, and this is makeable. So he pushed it out enough that I can actually I can float down. I will say though, guys, there's something going on. I think I'm just like tricking myself with shots like this, where I'll, overhit it or underhit it if I'm close to something else. I'm just sort of misjudging those more. I don't know if that's like my vision is getting worse or what, but it is definitely affecting my game. So what I was looking at there is, where do I want to be on the 3 so that it takes me towards the 4? You just want to play this 2 ball nice and smooth. If you're on this side of the table, you can come out and around for the 4 this way. Or if you come back towards the 5, you can go the other way to get up on the 4. So I decided to come out and back and just use this natural angle. I remember the situation here, but basically the idea is, like I said, to come out and around. Or you let it open up even more and come into that left long rail. But just pay attention to your cut angle here, and the speed kind of takes care of itself. Just undercut it slightly. Not a bad miss, all things considered, but didn't leave James anything too easy. Getting safe is kind of tricky because the cue ball is going to want to run into the 6. Yeah, he's in kind of a weird spot. Maybe you go thin off the right side of the 3 and come back up table again. I guess you could try to cut the 3, but it's going to be hard to get on the 4. Yeah, he just wanted to sort of get me down there in the cluster. The 3 ball ends up in a pretty good spot for him. Not a good spot for us. It banks back towards the 6, but it does not go in the top left corner. So sort of tricky, but I think, again, maybe just use the wall of the 9-7, put the cue ball up table. Think about just playing one of them, though, Don't get overly focused on both. Yeah, I think I was trying to leave it down in there. It's not a bad play. He's got a cut on the 3. It's just speed control to make sure that you end up on the 4. But this is a playable shot. I could see him attacking this. This was just about a month ago, like I said, so I don't remember all the details of this match. But this worked out really well for him. I mean, the speed was great. It opened up just a little bit off the rail to give him an angle on the 4. He's just got to get down below the 5. You don't really want to try to hold it. He decided to go into the long rail, which I think that's fine. You don't need to do that, but And this could just be a stop shot on the 5. He sort of crossed the shot line. Let's see if he keeps it simple or if he tries to... Okay, yeah, so he decided to get a little spicier to follow down. Didn't use a ton of inside. With inside, you can tighten that up and come down a little wider on the 6. But he's showing us that, he's going to be fine. Just stay level, stay confident. And I did flash the Fargo difference for us. So James is a 596, and at the time I was a 620 something, 626. But as I put up there, it's the provisional, the preliminary Fargo rating. So mine is going to be affected pretty severely by any wins or losses, depending on the opponent's skill levels. So another game for James. It's a good out. He made a good out there. The 9 ball. So it's tricky situation here. I don't have a good look at the 1. The 2-9 lays up. The 5-9 lays up. So what I immediately look at is a push. And this one, I remember what I end up doing here. This one is just a bad decision on my part. Instead of pushing into the 2 and maybe leaving a look at the 1 or a jump at the 1, which I think is the right play, get the 2 away from the 9 ball, basically. I end up pushing into the 5 because I got overly fixated on, like, hey, he's going to have the 5-9 option. But I leave the 2 there, and I give him a look at the 1. So, just not a good call. I could have played the, push the 2 into the 8 or something. We know he can jump, maybe leave a jump, but yeah, because he's got the 1-8. The 1 is likely to stay in the pocket somewhere. And then as long as he makes a good shot on the 1, he'll have a 2-9. This is coming off the coattails of some no-spin September work that I'd been doing in my training. Check those videos out if you haven't seen those. They're pretty cool. And I was getting a lot of really good results from that. I just feel like it helped to tune up my game. But I will say some of the swings in this match were pretty frustrating. Pool's frustrating, what are you going to do? But he really could have gotten behind that 4 ball, which would have been nice for us, but he gets a look at a 2-9 here, which I just handed him, let's be honest. But plays a good shot. Gets through that one, and just like that, it's 4-1 already. I'm breaking from the same spot. I have been liking this break. That rack may not have been the best, but so James is up and can't really do too much with this 1 ball. I could see somebody kind of going into the 1, maybe towards the 9 to leave you down table. He's just going to push, which is an interesting choice. I mean, if he's comfortable shooting from there, why would you want to give your opponent the choice? But maybe the thinking is that he's going to try to walk me into something. Like he has an idea and he doesn't think I'll come up with something good. I don't believe I would give this back though, right? You got to make something out of this. I got to make something happen in general because I'm down 4-1. I think we just try to come off the 1 and create some distance. Pretty good attempt. Oh, yeah. So I think that was the idea, right? You come off the 9 and get under the 5. Pretty close. I'm not upset about that attempt. I think it was a good idea. Just maybe slightly off on the speed. Ooh, look at him feather this in. That's a good shot. Good speed, too. And it kept control of the cue ball. Really doesn't have to do too much here. I mean, I guess the 5 to the 6. could be a little touchy, but as long as he gets reasonably straight on the 5, you can just draw back up table. Yeah. Totally fine angle here from the 4. You're going to dive into this rail and come back down. Maybe out a little bit so that you're on the right-hand side of the shot line. Yeah, I like this. You don't have to come out that far. You're going to be coming into the 5 and drawing back up table for the 6. Those are easy to overhit, and he hit it good, but he's kind of straight on the 6. I think he's got a little bit of an angle to work with. Yeah, he's able to kind of hammer it through. It's about all you can get out of that ball. I mean, he ended up as good as you can be. So come around just easy 2 rails for the 8 in the bottom right. He's putting a little speed on it. So this cuts in the side, the right-hand side. He could bank this in the left-hand side. He's going the right-hand side here. No, he tried to cross it. I think the idea behind that is if you cross it, you're guaranteed to get the cue ball down by the 9. So it's a good choice for your shape. Pressure's on now, guys. 5-1 or 4-2. There's a big psychological difference between those two. And this is a pressure shot. I mean, you can come straight down and back in practice all day long, but man, this felt like I was playing on a 9-footer. I really just had to settle and trust my stroke. Maybe a little bit of inside just to straighten it out. No, I didn't, because I didn't want to complicate things. And like I said, I was right in the heart of the no spin thing. There's a big breath. We're using our skills. Just doing my best out here, man. We got to put this one down. Blurry 9 ball goes down. All right. We're not getting completely shut out here. There goes our 9 ball again. It's bobbled around a little bit, but... So he's got options for the 1. It's not pretty either way. James and I were talking about this 9 ball. I don't talk to my opponents a lot, but he and I we're friendly, you know. Nothing unsportsmanlike at all. I think like we just got along, and he and I just kept marveling at how consistently the 9 ball was tracking to that top left. So yeah, he's kind of on the 50. I mean, you can certainly play it in the left side and try to hold it. So you play it here, and the cue ball's going to want to come off towards the 9. Can you hold that with draw? Maybe. Yeah, look, he tried to kind of curve off it, which I guess that was as good as you could get with that thin angle. He's got to look at the 2, but the 7-9 is a little weird. We hammered that 2 ball, and we're going to be on the bad side of it. Okay. He did also clear up the 6-3 a little bit, and I remember this situation. I decided to change my strategy a little bit because I'm not getting great looks at things, and stuff feels like it's rolling a little weird, so I'm going to change the pace. I am going to play a safety here, which, I don't know, you don't really want to go offensive in this situation anyway. I'm going to go offensive and just try to glue him behind the 3, which is a very playable shot for me. Yeah. Let's just kind of gauge our speed. I was looking to see what the 7 ball looks like, and I do believe it'll go kind of play short side to go in the top right. Yeah, I think we gotta spin off this just a little bit. Just play your cue ball. These are great shots to practice, by the way. Get them up on there. Nice. So pretty good. You don't need to glue him on the 3. Like I said, we know James can jump, but this is very kickable. Yeah, he goes full into the 2 and creates some distance, which is good for him. And yeah, we've got a good look at the 2, but man, this is a long straight in shot, and you do not have guaranteed shape on the 3 unless you play at pocket speed and just try to leave the cue ball around where the 2 is. In general, I don't mind this particular table. There's not a ton of foot traffic, at least not coming past the table itself, but you are right by the lane where people are walking up onto the little platform. Oh, cool. Okay, so I had a little bit of an angle there. Honestly, could have let that out a bit more, but we're okay on the 3. Thin back cut, and you can come out and back for the 4 ball. Good speed. And we've got a back cut on the 4, so the breakout on the 7-9 is available here. You want to stay on the top side of the 7 to make sure you don't get stuck down table. I'm looking at it again because I could go short side on the 7, but then, I mean, it's asking a lot to get from the 6 over to short side. So I think we just graze the 7 here, bust them up a little bit, and just take whatever sort of look we have at the 6, we get on the 6. Played pretty good. Nice little nudge on the 7, and we have natural shape from the 6 to the 7 here. Yeah, nice and smooth come across. You don't need to get a lot out of this one. Played that good. So often you really just need to get to the center of the table, right? I think that's another good drill. Set up a ball somewhere on the table, give yourself ball in hand, and then try to drop the cue ball into center table from there. Little low left to spin back up. Good clean look at the 8. Do we need a big breath here, or are we feeling okay? Nope, just drop into this guy. Yeah, like I said, a little bit of foot traffic, it's fine. Good and smooth, pinch that back. Get a good look at the 9. And James ends up telling me that's okay. 4-3, okay. Ball game. 9's in the pocket again. I think that's me telling him like every time. So 2 balls down on the break. We got to get from the 1 to the 3. The 1 cuts, and you're kind of coming across table over and over. You could definitely run into the 4-8 from there, but you're not guaranteed shape on the 3. So do you play safe here? Do you try to send the 1 under the 3? Do you try to send the cue ball under the 3? I don't know if I love going offensive here. I forget what I do, though. Oh, I don't think I mentioned the reason I wrote Stevie Chan. It's a memorial tournament for Stevie Chan. And I think it's their second annual. Yeah, just try to create some distance. I think, you know, maybe the idea was to get the cue ball down below the 7, but this is cuttable. He could go to either corner with this. I'd be tempted to try to put somebody behind the 4-8, but I can see James just firing at this. Mess with the 9 ball a little bit too. All right, so from here, we're blocked. This is jumpable. I like my jump. Get over the 5. You could curve around this guy maybe. Queuing is partially obstructed, at least by the 9, depending on what we choose to do. Yeah, that's basically me marking where I would like to end up on a jump. You got to clear the 5, but you don't want to put so much on it that you over jump it. I think you've got enough table here though that it's this is very hittable at the very least. I don't know if I'm playing to make this though. I think I just want a center ball hit on the 1. Plenty of access to the cue ball for this jump, I believe. And I mentioned in previous videos, I changed my jump technique a little bit. I'm still aiming the same way like a normal shot, but I just go over the cue ball. And yeah, I'm dropping my elbow to the side. Just much more comfortable. Pretty solid hit on the 1. Get a bit of a roll. Definitely get a roll there by blocking the 1. But James can jump too, so he's probably going to hit this one. And honestly, you could mess with the 9. I don't want to see that happen, but it definitely could. Yeah, this should be a pretty straightforward hit. Okay, the 9 doesn't go. Did the cue ball go? No, okay. So no good options here. You know, the 1 cuts in the side, but you're going to be running into the 7. I think we play safe. Honestly, from here, you could play a pretty good safe by putting the 1 ball down, line up a 1-9, and just put them on the 5. Did we take away the jump? And James said something at that point like, dirty pool. And I was like, listen, man, I got to take what I can get here today. Stuff was feeling a little funky. This is jumpable, but it is a risky jump, right? When you're kind of close, the cue ball could land on the 1. Cue ball can jump off the table, that you could knock the 1 off the table. He's going dart stroke too, because I think he's that close to the 5 that he's got to get over the 5 and clear the 7. Ah, there goes the cue ball. Yeah, I mean, he aimed it well, he hit it well, but just overplayed it slightly. If we can tie it up here with ball in hand, that'd be a good swing. Problem is, getting from the 3 to the 4 is weird. So the 3 being up here, you really want to play, you know, into this zone, and then what? Are you going to come down and back? Or are you going to get, yeah, where I'm looking right now, to get under the 4? I don't mind that. I think that's what we do, is we get down here, and then you could play, maybe the 4 goes in the side, or maybe you play a safe. Put him behind the 5. Not always just going to be run out competition. I mean, you gotta play smarter than your opponent too. Hit that pretty good. I do think we're kind of flat on the 3. We didn't need to draw back that much. I mean, we could have played the 3 from here. Are we so straight on the 3 that we have to go low left, like draw with left spin to get down table? It might be. I don't mind these though. I actually kind of like hitting these shots. So this could help me settle. Yeah, hit that good. Right where I wanted to go too, right down into the 7. You could probably add some spin to get below the 7, but then the 7 gets bigger, I think. It's tough to put him behind the 5 to go safe. Do we just sort of split it and put him behind the 7? I don't love offense here. I think we're just going to try to put him down table under the 7. Too much. Oh, leaked out just a little bit. It was a good idea. By this point, I should definitely have the speed of the table down, so just slightly overhit it. If he makes this, he's kind of in the clear. Ooh. That's a tough one, James. think he stood up on that. This is a big opportunity, though, guys. You got to make a good shot to figure this out, but bank the 4. So the thinking here is you bank the 4 back down here. The 5 is going to come out and around. You need good speed to either land on the 5 in the side or get below it, because you need an angle on the 5 that takes you towards the 7. This is tricky. This is obviously the key shot. Get around the 9. Oh yeah, those feel good. Cross the shot line, but I think it's still workable. So we need to basically punch off the long rail. Yeah. Out and up. Just get some kind of cut on the 7. You don't need to get too cute here. But these are missable if you overcompensate. Try to get too much out of the 5. But I decided to get way too much out of the 5. You don't even need all that. We'll take it, though. It's a good play. Nice and smooth through the 7. You're guaranteed to get a look at the 8. You're pretty much always going to be able to get from the 8 to the 9. A little more than we bargained for, I'd say. I'd rather be a little lower on the 8 to come out smooth this way. Got a little bit of work to do, but still very playable for me. Oh, I hit it so bad, man. Way too full. Way too full into the 8. You need to cut that thinner. This is a bear down moment. My heart's got to be pounding right now. Nice touch. Tied it up. Playing through some weirdness. Some weird stuff's happening, but we are making it work. Look at this, though. The 1 and the 2 ball go, and a 3-9 lines up. The 6 interposes slightly, to be fair, but it's still a very playable combo. He does not have to do a lot of work to make this 9 ball go. Yeah, I think it just slides in off the 6. He was like, "Sorry, man." And I was like, "Okay, thanks." I don't know. It sucks. It happens. There's a 9 again. But I scratch on the break, dude. So, yeah, like I said, I'm trying this break from here, kind of 1-1. And I like it because it gets an easier pop and breaking off the rail. But we scratch on the break. It's 4-5. James steps away, I think, here. So I probably cut the film, but he's just going to line up this 1-9. Yeah, he takes a bathroom break. Which, to be honest, I can kind of understand it, but also, like, you could shoot this combo. I don't know. I can't give the guy a hard time. I take bathroom breaks too. Everybody does. I think I was just salty because I scratched on the break and left a 1-9. Yeah. He's on the hill and breaking. So now my mind is garbage because I'm like, this is the first match of the tournament and I'm going to get washed out. I'm going to be on the loser side and I got to claw my way up and He gets a friendly little bump. He does have a look at the 3. Maybe a little bit of work to do to get on the 4, but I think as long as you make the 3, it brushes the left side of the 4 and kind of sets it up. And losing this one on a break and run for James, that would sting for me. Okay, he didn't even need to run into the 4, which that's a good way to play it. So he can either come to the left side, play the 5 clean, which I think is the play. But look, James is going to go for a 5-9, which is tough. This is a tough combo. You cannot take these for granted. But the thinking here, like, he's already got the momentum. I think you might as well. You got to bear down on these, though. Like I said, don't take them for granted. Combos are very missable. But in his mind, he's on the hill. He's got a good opportunity to just shut this down. and he's taken the appropriate amount of time to sight this one in and just hammers it. Doesn't give himself a chance to kind of second guess it. So, ouch. Ouch. Here's the breakdown. So, stick around. This is going to be kind of interesting. Okay, breakdown. Pause the video though. What I'm going to do here, this was just a caveat. This was not fun to edit, but I think it's very valuable because it was so validating for me to go back and look at how this actually shook out, just to confirm my suspicions. And like I said, James was talking about it too. Oh, by the way, he won. I gave him his 7. But check this out. What happens here is I show every break shot, and then I put sort of an overlay of where the 9-ball ends up. Right in the pocket for that 3rd game. 4th game, basically tracking the same spot, got kicked around. Next game, in the jaws. Next game, basically heading into the jaws, if not getting made. 9-ball does not count on the snap, by the way, because it was rack your own. That one got kicked around, probably would have been in the same spot. Again, probably would have been in the same spot. I do the red because it was an overlap and you can't really see it. There's all that. Another overlap. This one is the outlier. This one stays kind of outside that same area. But take a look at this. Every single break shot, even including the outlier here, every single break shot is within that quadrant of the table. I might need you guys to like reel me in here if I'm just overthinking this or perseverating for no reason. That seems ridiculous to me. How for 2 different players, it's rack your own. So like, okay, maybe you're racking very similarly for yourself every single time. That's maybe, you know, ideal, right? Giving yourself a tight, consistent rack. If you're breaking from the same spot every time, you could get pretty consistent results theoretically. I think this is a little beyond the pale. But for it to happen between both players who have reasonably different styles of breaking, and that we're breaking from different places, different speeds, this just seemed wild to me. I was so surprised that it was happening this way. James was commenting on it too. And you know, I'm not like crying foul or anything, whatever. Like the game's weird and weird stuff happens and you can't control for everything. Like it's fine, fair play. You know, like it was a good match and James won fair and square. There's nothing like that for me. This is just a curiosity, to be clear. But stay tuned because match number 2 is coming up from this tournament, and I think you guys will be really interested to see the continuation of the situation here. So yeah, stick around. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out a lot. Cat's paying me a visit here too, so special guest. Thank you for checking this one out. I know the tournament stuff is a little different than the normal kind of Masters fare, but it's really good for my game, and I love hearing from you guys on this stuff. And my game has come a long way since this one too, so I think you're going to be really excited to see some of the stuff that's coming down the pike. I'm doing my best to get caught up with a lot of content, but thank you again, and I will see you all again soon.